Hello everyone and welcome back to Adrian's Digital Basement 2 second channel video. This is a super mini mail call episode, and this package here comes from Jeff Birt of the Hey Birt channel. Jeff makes all those awesome parts for repairing your Commodore 64, like new case standoffs and all sorts of actual little plastic repair parts. He also made and sells brand new 23-pin D-sub connectors for the Amiga for the video port, because those are very hard to get. So he actually worked with a manufacturer in China to have brand new ones made. Anyhow, this package I don't think is Commodore related at all. So let's crack it open and see what we're dealing with. I'll put a link to Jeff's YouTube channel and his store if you want to check out the stuff that he has available. Jeff has sent stuff in on the channel before, so if you watch my mail calls regularly, you will have seen stuff from Jeff. Okay, so what do we have here? All right, yes. So what this is unfortunately not something that I can use for this video. So there's not going to be any kind of testing going on here. All right, so these are Apple cables, obviously. You might be noticing the Apple logo on things. This cable here, what is this? This looks like it's for a monitor. This was like the video connector on the back of later Macintoshes. I don't have any Macs that use this connector, but it's big and it's chunky and it's very custom and it's very proprietary. And on the other end is a normal 15-pin female connector, which would be what your older Macintosh monitors used. This is probably for one of the PowerPC Macs, like the G3s or whatever. I don't think these cables are especially rare because I think every single Mac probably came with one of these, especially if you were going to hook up an analog type monitor, analog CRT that is. So yeah, pretty common. But this, on the other hand, I think this is like an unobtanium cable. Apple at one point released a PC DOS compatibility card for the Macintosh. Now this was a 486 maybe, or a 386. I think it was actually a 486, maybe a Pentium. Not totally familiar with it. And that card, in whichever Mac it actually worked in, actually supported like built-in Sound Blaster emulation. It was an entire PC on a card inside a Mac. So if you needed to run Windows, probably like Windows 3.1, you absolutely could. But the way Apple always did it is they would have a very high density connector like this one on the back of the machine, because it was probably a small opening. It didn't have room for everything you needed. And then you basically needed a cable like this to hook up external things. So without knowing exactly how this works, I see here there is like a video cable in and out, probably for the regular monitors, actually very similar to this one. So for instance, you would plug this in to the back of the computer on the motherboard. That would be your video out for the Mac. And then this cable would plug into here like so, well, flipped over of course like that. And that would pass through the built-in Macintosh video through that PC card, probably through this multi-pin connector here. And then the monitor that you had would plug into this, and it would allow you to switch between the VGA and the Macintosh display. I don't think, now I'm gonna have to go read up on this, I really don't think that it actually ran in a window. I think it was like full screen VGA or full screen Mac with a way to switch back and forth. So this cable allowed that to happen. And there's also this connector, which, oh, it looks like a joystick connector, has a joystick logo on it and a little cap on it, so they don't want you to plug a monitor into it. And that is the joystick connector. So this cable, if you don't have this, you're not using your DOS card. And that's because of this funky multi-pin connector, which is a little bit bent up. Hopefully it's focusing correctly, but some of those pins are a little mangled. So before I ever plug this into something, I will need to make sure that I straighten those out. Now, I think I just mentioned I don't have the DOS compatibility card. I don't even know which Macintosh it works on. But like I said, I know that this cable is completely unobtanium, and I bet you there are a lot of Macs out there, or a lot of those DOS compatibility cards floating around, where this cable's lost, and without this, you're dead in the water. All right, so here are some of the compatibility cards that Apple made. Of course, there's the Apple IIe card, which I do have one of those, which I haven't shown on the channel. I will need to do that soon. There's the Houdini 1 PDS card. I have no clue what that is. But here's the DOS compatibility card for a new bus slot in the Power Mac 6100 with a 486-66 CPU. That's what I think this is, because I'm pretty sure it's the Power Mac 6100 that uses this big chonky video connector with this little adapter. And then this card is for the 46DX266 on that particular Mac. Now, even though it says it's a NuBus card, which like my Mac 2 Ci has NuBus, I don't know if this works on the Mac 2 Ci and if it only works on the Power Mac 6100. Looks like Apple made a PCI PC compatibility card with a 5x86. I don't even know what that is, a Cyrix, I guess, processor at 100 megahertz. And then a 12-inch PCI card with an Intel Pentium 100. These cards probably cost more than an entire PC alone. Then there was a 166 Pentium version and a 12-inch PCI card with a Cyrix 686 133 for the Power Mac 4400. And a little more searching, and I found that LGR did a video on the Power Mac version of this card. This is the NuBus card, I guess the one that this cable is for, and he did this back in 2019, and I definitely watched this video. Clint here says, for $2,199.1995, you got an MS-DOS and Mac OS in one computer, thanks to the Intel 46 and a Power PC 601 inside. So I suppose maybe it was bundled with a computer, so it was an option when you purchased it, and that was the entire price. And maybe $21.99 was an okay price, but I still kind of have to think that buying an actual PC like a 46DX266 and the Power Mac without the DOS card was probably cheaper than getting it all combo and the need for this crazy cable and everything. And to borrow a little bit from Clint's video, what happens there, switched from the Mac over to Windows. It fades out on the Mac side and just blips in on the Windows 3.1 side. How hilarious. I'm just rewatching Clint's video. He's saying that it pretty much was cheaper than buying a Mac and a 46 at the same time. So it was actually a decent value if this is something you needed. And there's the confirmation of this cable that Jeff sent me in use by Clint on his combo machine there. So like I said, absolutely necessary. I will put a link in the description below to Clint's video if you want to know more about this weird combo machine. So I guess for now, I'll be storing this away for a future time when one of those machines shows up in my periphery and I can grab it, knowing that I have the cable in stock. So Jeff, thank you very much for thinking of me and sending this in. And yeah, it's unfortunate that I can't test it, but Jeff knew that because I let him know I didn't have the machine, but he sent this anyways, just so I could have it and it wouldn't get tossed out for when the right opportunity came up. And that is it for this super mini video. If you liked it, you know, thumbs up, all that usual stuff. If you didn't, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe to this second channel video here, or second channel that is, because I don't have that many subs here, and the subs really help exposure on this channel. And I want to thank my patrons. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for all the support to the channels. It's absolutely heartwarming. And again, thanks to Jeff for sending this to me all the way from the Ozark Mountains. Really appreciate it. And that is that. Bye.